this one thing could save your life and help your digestion. So let me tell you a little bit of a story about the importance of this one thing. We have a friend and a colleague who was out to lunch with his coworkers, and they were having some Mexican food, so some tacos. He had some steak in his tacos, and he found that the steak was very difficult, not tender, so difficult to chew. And so he found himself just kind of scarfing it down, not really chewing it. And unfortunately, he actually had a big piece of meat get stuck in his throat, and he couldn't breathe. So he's sitting there choking, and a nurse came up to him and told him that he could do some massages to his throat to prevent this in the future. But he was actively choking, and he could not even listen to her. So one of his coworkers came up behind him and did the Heimlich maneuver, but unfortunately that failed. And just over time, he was able to get it down with all of the swallowing. I think he actually had some of it come up as well. But point being, if we do not chew our food, if we eat too fast, if we're not paying attention, right? If we're having work conversations while we're eating, or stressful things happening, or we're driving, this can potentially not only affect our digestion, but it can potentially really harm us in a very negative way. So I'm just putting this video up to remind everyone to be chewing your food. You know, if you have something that's really tough to chew, please try to cut it. I know that it's hard when we're busy and we don't want to take the time, but it's so important for your health, because that food, that big chunk of meat, your body also has to break that down. And so if you're not taking the time to really chew, turn it into a puree, then it's much harder for all of that acid in your belly to break it down as well, let alone all the digestive enzymes in your saliva that are helping you out as well. So if you just bypass all of that, you're making it more difficult for yourself, causing more inflammation and potentially not absorbing also. So super, super important that you chew your food. Remember, 32 times per bite. It's like a meditation. You really have to be focusing and paying attention and just be present with your food and your meal. And that way your body has the best chance of really digesting, absorbing what you need to feel your best, right? To make your hormones, to get enough micronutrients, to create your tissues, to heal. All of those things are important. I myself am guilty of not always focusing on my meal, especially when I'm chasing after my toddler and I'm just trying to get it in when I can. But in the past, I actually have had extreme gut issues and SIBO because I was not paying attention to what I was doing. I was driving and eating, I was running down the sidewalk and eating. And so I know firsthand that this can really cause issues because your body, it's getting mixed signals, right? It's like, am I running right now? Am I digesting? Am I in stress mode right now, or am I digesting? So you really got to be conscious about this if you want to improve your gut health and your digestion. So subscribe to our page. You'll hear more fun stories every day. We have new clients telling us some fun things that can really help you out. You can learn from them so that you don't have to experience it yourself.